Uh, nah. I'm just doing the starting soon. And good evening, folks. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting here live from NGC Studios for the Thursday edition of the show. I want to thank you so very much for joining me here today, wherever you are in the past, present, future hour. Contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SamTWR_NGC. Hashtag Whitfield Report. You can also follow me on Gab and Parlor at Sam Whitfield. Facebook.com/Whitfield Report. TheSamWhitfield.com is my website. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcast. And if you would be so inclined, ladies and gentlemen, please, streamlabs.com/The Whitfield Report if you would like to donate. And that is about it. And I know I've been collaborating with him a lot lately, but joining me on stream is Sean Semenko of Real News and Versa Media. I find we work really well together. Of course, Apex and I also work well, but I figured I'd have Sean on the Thursday edition because he hasn't been on solo in quite a while. So, Sean, we've been talking off and on over really the past 24 to 40 hours. And this keeps getting more and more nuts. But first off, how are you personally doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, I think people get too emotional over everything anymore, so I'm glad that I'm staying sane through the whole thing. I know I've been like obsessed with Twitter over the past 24 hours and I've been monitoring everything and watching everything that's coming out, so it's been fun watching that. But I would like to say welcome everybody to because we're live here on Real News. So welcome everybody to the Versa Media broadcast here. Thank everyone for tuning in. And as Sam said, you can follow him on all his socials. We'll link it below. You can subscribe to the channel here, hit subscribe on Versa Media, and follow us on Twitter at Versa News Media for updates and everything. Because, like I said, Twitter's been a wild west today of lots of stuff going on, and a lot of the aftermath that we've been expecting is coming. That's why I say I can't complain, is because the one thing that is a little unsettling, though, is the fact that they're pushing really hard to impeach Trump. I personally don't think they have the time or they're going to have the votes in the Senate to do it, but it
Yeah,
is concerning,
yeah,
because that could be used to stop him from running again and to scare people, and it would like, you think yesterday was bad? If they impeached him and removed him now, that would look like nothing, what you saw yesterday compared to what would come next.
oh yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on. I saw that when you posted that in the news section of Versa, and I think Alex pretty much said what you said, that
Mhm.
uh if they were to remove Trump, the riots and the chaos that would ensue after that would make yesterday look like a fucking picnic. And obviously
Mhm.
it's not. But it's crazy now. I've been doing pretty good too. I've been trying to, stay upbeat, stay optimistic. I had a relatively good day. However, the one thing that I've been getting a lot of kind of flack on is all of these libs who are on my, again, I don't engage in politics on Facebook, but people more or less tend to engage me. Usually I ignore them, but um I've gotten a couple of snide remarks from people being like, "Oh, so how about that, make America great again? This is Trump's legacy, and what do you think of
No.
what do you think of Trump now?" And look, I'm not gonna pretend that yesterday was okay. It wasn't. Yesterday was a national disgrace. I've already said that. You know, I don't think it needs to be repeated. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse. With that
Mhm.
being said, someone actually did ask me. this, or someone rather stated it. Well, oh, Hillary doesn't look so bad after all, huh? Listen,
What?
even with all this shit that happened yesterday, even with a couple of fucking morons trying to make our movement look bad yesterday and totally making and basically trashing the MAGA movement for their own selfish, purposes. That's what it is. That's what it was too. The vast majority of Trump voters do not support what happened yesterday. We're all upset by it. With that being said, if you think yesterday's shit is going to finally say, oh gee, I guess I should have voted for Hillary Clinton. No, you're
Who
wrong.
do you want to send it to?
Oh, shut up, Siri. Um,
Siri wanted Hillary too.
I don't know why my iPad got triggered by that, but anyway. Um, yeah, if you think I'm going to suddenly change my mind about Hillary, look, let me put it this way. If you think Trump is crooked, but Hillary isn't, you're delusional. I would vote for Trump again in a heartbeat. Just make sure that she didn't get into office. Hell, that is the reason why most people voted for Trump in the first place. If it weren't for Hillary Clinton, showing her ugly face in 2016, and trying to, get into the White House because it's her turn, quote unquote, again, I don't think there would have been a need for a Trump, candidacy in 2016, personally. So, you want to blame racism for Trump? No. Blame Hillary Rodham Clinton for, Trump in 2016. That's the beginning of the end. And with all the, and with all that, it really wasn't until, COVID and, you know, whatnot when things really started to kind of fall apart under Trump, and he's not even responsible for that. So I completely reject this rhetoric that Hillary would have somehow had a better handle on this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, and it's also Obama's fault too. I mean, Obama gave us Trump in many ways, but he just made a statement at the White House, and the video's been posted online, of course, by the White House, where I mean, some of the headlines like he's changing tone, he's changing direction, he's now accepting defeat. I mean, he's really just saying the same stuff he's been saying, and some people are upset he's throwing supporters on the bus, but look, when you're in that position, you kind of have to say what he said, even if you don't like what he said. I understand, but he had to say what he said. And look, I stand with all the MAGA people strongly as anyone else, but it's it's gonna be a very sort of delicate next 14 days because Trump's going to be probably unleashing a hell of a lot of pardons. And they're going to try everything they can to stop him from running because they're afraid of that. I mean, you can see in the way they're acting, what they're doing. They're scared of him coming back and winning again because they see that his supporters are willing to storm the Capitol for him. There's nobody else that Republicans are willing to do that for. Have they ever stormed the Capitol ever? No. Have they ever done what they've done for another candidate or another president ever? No. I mean, that's how special he is. That is how much people love him. And I'm so tired of seeing these. I finally settled on a good term for these people, establishment rhinos, because they're not even Republicans. They're just rhinos. They keep saying, "Oh, we need to move on from this past Trump. We need to transition away. We can't associate with him anymore." It's like, guys, you don't get it. I mean, look, people were willing to die for this guy yesterday. There's nothing else like it. And like you said, people keep trying to, impeach him and bring up all this other crap because they want to, like the thing you were mentioning about him, like that this tarnishes his legacy. That is all a information warfare tactic. Is simply to ruin his legacy because they don't want him running again. That's all that's about. It's not a legitimate opinion people hold. It is it's a very carefully crafted uh, talking point that's being sent down to brainwash people to prevent him from running again. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, well, he apparently he conceded,
Well,
and
he already said this before. Like, I have this headline up that says he concedes defeat. Well, he said yesterday sort of the same thing. He said in a more formal way, but he's still saying they stole it from me. I disagree with the results, but we're going to transition. I mean, he's been saying the same thing. It's just for some reason, I guess people are taking it more official now. But he said the same thing yesterday, So
peop
I don't know.
and this really does show how the media, is really the fourth estate in this country, because no one was paying attention to when he said it yesterday. But now, in the aftermath, they made a headline again today. And now I guess it carries more weight in these people's mind. So,
Hmm.
um, you know, and then the other thing, and I hate to bring this up again because we have literally probably beat the crap out of this dead horse on this show before, to the point where it's almost Owen Benjamin like at this point.
Take a sip.
Um, yeah, I've beaten that horse to death too. But for God's sakes, people, oh, you MAGA people in QAnon. Okay,
Oh my god.
again, I stated this last night on both live streams numerous times. I've done shows on how retarded QAnon is. And I will say this again. All right. So for those of you who want to do your clips of me or whatever, your edits, feel free to clip this. I QAnon is dumb. It's retarded. I still have no idea what it is really. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't support QAnon because I don't really know what it is even. It's nonsense. It's a word salad. No, but the vast majority of Trump voters have no idea what QAnon is. I mean, you know, I know that Sean Sean you know what QAnon is, right?
As best as I can, yep.
Yep. I mean, you know, it's a LARP at this point, and if the GOP establishment and the media want to blame QAnon for all this, stuff, go ahead. That may be one thing, but for God's sakes, don't tie the entire Trump base to uh QAnon, and WW1TGA or whatever their annoying hashtag is.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of anything new I can say about Q other than I just it's shocking that that has warped some people's minds. It still really surprised me that that of all things caught on. And I mean, you and I know it's a bunch of crap, but dude, there's so many people that believe in it. It's not this the entire right believes. I mean, I bet most people don't even know what it is.
And
Now they
here,
might know a
yeah,
little bit more, but it's
and
like a sliver. It's like a 10% of them. It's like a cult.
and
And
well, here's the thing though too. Now that the media has covered QAnon and given QAnon their attention, I guarantee you that there are going to be people who now pay attention to QAnon and who get into it, and then when social media tries to ban them, that it'll go deeper underground, and people will be like, oh, this must be true because it's been banned,
mhm.
and it will gain it. So in a way, by the mainstream media, trying to explain QAnon and trying to denounce it, by the GOP doing that and by the media doing that, they're actually helping QAnon grow. Great going, guys.
Yeah, that's just the inverse effect with any censorship, anything like this is that these people are going to double down what they believe, and new people are going to be interested in it, and they're going to find out it's banned. They're going to find out all these things about it, and they're going to say, must be true then. The big tech companies are trying to silence it. Must be true. They're hiding
Yep.
the truth. And look at all these people that were harmed that were Q people. There must be something to this. And that's always what happens. And I'm not saying that analysis is always right or always wrong. In many cases, it's right. But in this case, it is fundamentally wrong when you look at what Q is. And I was seeing, because last night when we ended our stream, Linwood, he was banned from Twitter, and that's gonna be another victory for the Q people because 'cause they're gonna be like, "Look at this. He was one of us, and they took him out. He must be speaking the truth." And you see him replying to Q people on Parler now. It's like, "Ah, God." I'm convinced it started off as like a joke or a troll, and it's become controlled opposition because you're able to create this boogeyman to smear people that you on the opposition of this crazy conspiracy because they're gonna be because look, they're already calling them everyone conspiracy theorists for believing the election stolen. Now they're just gonna use Q as proof of it. Be like, look what these people read and what they're getting their theories from. They're getting it from Q, and that is why it's a very useful tool for them.
Yeah, it's and I've heard this too. Oh, you don't believe the election was legitimate? You question the election? Oh, well, you must believe in Q. It's like,
Yeah,
no.
exactly.
Uh, it's like no. I think everyone from both sides should be concerned about you know uh, let me put it this way. I'm concerned about the election results because guess what? 2020 was a crazy year. How about that? There was,
Yeah.
lots of shit that, happened. I don't think it was entirely unreasonable to question the results of this election. Uh, you know, I, and I'm not even like that much of a conspiracy theorist, but I questioned it. I think even a few Democrats in my neighborhood were questioning it. They're not Q people, but
Right.
this is what we're dealing with now. In the age of the internet and social media and everything else. So, um,
Yeah.
not really breaking news, but I saw this today too. YouTube YouTube again has said that they're going to continue to crack down on channels that question the election integrity.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
So,
pretty much our channels. Every channel that has that little banner under it that's on your videos that says, "Oh, we're this is a live fact check of the election results in your video." We're all under that umbrella. Just it's only a matter of are they going to care? Are they going to take us out?
well, just to be on the safe side, here's what I'll say. Biden Biden got into the presidency. He is president elect. I don't like it, but he got the election in his own way, so to speak. How he got that election, I'm not gonna say how because I can't. But you know, let's leave it at that for the sake of YouTube. So
Mhm. Yeah, what's more troubling too is actually Twitch. To me, even though there's not a lot of political people on there, like it's one of the worst for censorship. They not only banned words, they have now banned Trump's account on there.
wait, Trump had a Twitch account?
Yeah, exactly. See, I didn't know he had one either, but apparently he did. It was taken down. I'm gonna start pulling up some of these tweets I've been reading off today, but yeah, they pulled that down. Um, I know Facebook. Here's the big one. Facebook has Mark Zuckerberg did even a post on his personal page saying we're going to be banning Trump indefinitely till he's out of office, pretty much, is what they said. But they said it could be longer, could be more.
See, I wonder what is going to happen now with like the Trump brand accounts. Not Trump himself,
Mm,
but like, the Trump Hotel and basically the Trump brand because those are businesses that, you know, pay. And obviously Trump himself probably pays for promotion and whatnot too, but Trump's businesses really don't have anything to do with politics. And yeah, obviously I know the Democrats are going to say, "Oh, his businesses launder money from Russia." No, they don't. But
mm-hmm,
that just go. But I'm wondering like it. How far is this going to go? Is Ivanka's you know page in danger? Is Melania's? Is Eric's? Is what about Trump hotels? Or any of the Trump golf courses? You know.
mm-hmm. I tend to think his business pages will actually be fine because there's no political content, but they could lump it saying, "Oh, it's a part of Trump. He
Well,
created these accounts, so therefore
well, yeah,
they're still a threat."
that's exactly what I'm saying. They shouldn't go after his other pages, but they might just
Yeah.
just by association.
Right. I think he himself personally will be banned from Twitter soon, and his kids will probably be banned soon. His campaign accounts will probably be banned soon. But eh, unless they take them down themselves, the campaign, before they're banned or private them, I that's how I see things going. I think the Facebook situation is actually a little more interesting because I think Twitter's a definite, but Facebook is really doing a very unusual ban that they've never done before, where they're locking him out for the next 13 days. And yeah, Zuckerberg phrased that as therefore we are extending the block because it was originally 24 hours. We have placed on his Facebook and Instagram accounts indefinitely and for at least the next 2 weeks until the peaceful transition of power is complete. See, that's so vague. It's gonna be at least till he's out of office, and personally, I think they're trying to ease into a permanent ban. That's what they're really doing,
Oh
and when he's
yeah.
permanently banned, which is what's gonna happen, they're gonna do, like, pretty much an Alex and that's what's kinda happening now is an Alex Jones level hit where it's simultaneous, concise, just hits across the board on things you didn't even think he had accounts on, like Twitch. And Snapchat, he's banned indefinitely too. I mean, I followed him on or subscribed to his Snapchat and it's gone. So I think probably, I mean, I've always speculated he would lose his Twitter after January 20th. And I think that might still be the case. I think literally the day of, the day after, a few days after, a week after, all his crap is going to be gone. I think it's actually all gonna go around the same time, Alex Jones style, within a 24, 48-hour window, it's all just gonna go. It's all gonna be gone.
My question is, how far does this go? Does this extend
Right.
does this extend to Trump, or does this extend to Trump supporters?
Oh, I think it's gonna extend to supporters 100%. I mean, that's not gonna get as much news coverage, but
Right.
you're gonna see a lot of people getting purged. I mean, you've already seen, conservative accounts losing a lot of followers, thousands of followers over the past 24 hours, and we expected that, and it's happening. It's how much it's gonna happen, who's gonna get hit. Like, I've been backing up all of our videos today because I know a big purge is coming. I just know it. I just don't know who's gonna get hit. I think his kids are gonna be fine for now, but I do think depends what they tweet and say because, I mean, everybody likes to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter what they say, they're just gonna ban him anyway." Kind of. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're looking to get you for sure, but they still need a good excuse, and that's what they're using this event for, the good excuse so that it can happen and nobody questions it, and it just happens. And so, I think depending on what his kids say online, they could get booted, but I'm gonna say no. I think they're gonna save him for a later date.
I I would have to agree. I mean, I'm looking at my stuff too, and hoping that nothing happens, but you just don't know. It
Mhm.
like I said last night, things are gonna get dicey real quick here. Uh and I mean, with the whole YouTube thing, doesn't surprise me because my videos are staying in processing, in air quotes, longer and longer these days. It's actually kind of amazing.
Mhm.
Um, and in fact, I just had to refresh the YouTube Studio page because the view count wasn't coming in. It just stopped. So, uh, so let's talk about af. Let's talk about something that Biden was saying, because Biden was saying yet again today that he wants to bring the country back together, and that we
Mhm.
and that we need to unify and come together and find unity. Well, are you gonna be the one to do that, Joe, or are you just talking out your are you talking out your ass again? Uh, you know, how many how many times have we heard, the Democrats call for unity? Like, even Hillary Clinton was saying that we need unity after the 2016 election. Yet the Dems spent the first year and a half tearing the country apart over the 2016 election and Russiagate. So forgive me if I don't buy Biden's "I want to unify and heal the country"
Yeah, I'm really
line.
tired of that unity crap because it's totally fake. And I mean, you see him giving speeches where he's blasting half the country, saying how they're racist, they're crazy, they're conspiracy theorists, they're sexist, all these things. It's totally fake. And they hate half the country. They hate the whole country, technically, but they really hate half of it. But it's just. more of the same BS that they feed us about unity, which is a total lie. There is no unity. Unity's dead, and both sides kind of say, "Screw that. We're not even going to try for unity at this point. It's just all out warfare." And I mean, you look at some of the stuff Biden was saying today in his speech, and he said, crap like I'm pulling it up right now on my phone because I want to get the quote, but he was saying like, "Oh, no one can tell me that if this had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, there wouldn't have been a treated very differently than a mob of thugs that stormed the Capitol." It's like, what are you talking about, dude? Why would they be treated differently?
It
Oh, maybe it's because they were they would be burning stuff, they would be stabbing people, they would be looting stores. That's what happens at those protests.
yeah, and Eric July, young Ripper 5'9", I don't know if you know who he is. He's kind. I wouldn't call him like a. He's not libertarian. He's kind of like an ANCAP YouTuber, which I don't really subscribe to that whole philosophy either. But
Mhm.
I like his live streams, and he did make a very valid point. Right, I was listening to his stream this afternoon as I was eating lunch, and he made a point that when businesses in local, neighborhoods, when city blocks were burning across the country, over the summer, the political establishment, the GOP and the left, were both kind of like, eh, it's unfortunate, it's sad, but these are just angry protesters,
Mhm.
right? It's a tragedy, but what are you gonna do? That's basically what they were saying. Meh, what are you gonna do? Then you have people storming the Capitol, which means that these people are on their land, so to speak. And all of a sudden the tune becomes, "Oh my God, this is outrageous. How could they, come on to the Capitol? These people are unruly. These people are domestic terrorists." There was a lot of pearl clutching going on by this
Mhm.
by these same people who were saying, "Meh," to small businesses burning and whatnot.
Oh yeah. It's totally fake and hypocritical like you wouldn't believe. It's rules for me, not for thee. It's okay on my side, Vaughn, when yours is not. That's why I look at this, and the only fair way I can look at it is be like, hey, these are these are peaceful protesters fighting for social justice. Why are you guys outraged over it? That's all I say. I don't say anything else because you gotta hold them to their standards, and that's their standard.
Yeah.
These are peaceful protesters.
Yeah, and by the way, for anyone who wants to take that out of context, Sean is being a bit ironic there. For the
Yes.
for for those who can't, who can't detect tone or sarcasm or anything like that. So
Yeah.
sorry, I have to put that in there before someone clips that out of context and
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad you did because, I mean, that's all I'm trying to say is that that's what the media's been telling us. That's what the left's been telling us about Black Lives Matter. When we'd see them burn cities, I mean, there's the infamous meme of the guy that's on CNN on the ground reporting in, I think, Minneapolis, and behind him, there's a city behind him, and he goes, "Oh, these are mostly peaceful protests." And there's a graphic at the bottom that says "fiery but mostly peaceful protests," and or "fiery but peaceful protests," I think it says. And behind him is burning buildings,
I
like literally burning.
I love Michael Malice had a terrific tweet tweet last night about that where he said the storming of the Capitol was mostly peaceful yesterday.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I saw that too, and
uh,
honestly, that's the game to play because that's the game that they're playing is they're calling these things peaceful. So we'll say back to them, be like, yeah, it's peaceful, right? This is peaceful too.
and then also I saw some other liberal like blog on Twitter. One of those nameless blue checkmark people being like, "Oh my God, these people are defacing statues inside the Capitol building," and I'm like, but it's just a statue, right? It doesn't actually mean anything.
Mm.
It's just an inanimate object. It's just a statue. Quit overreacting. You know.
There's a statue of a white supremacist colonizer, I bet. So it's progressive. It's a
Well,
bunch of right.
right, yeah. Again though, being some ironic, we're holding them to their own standards, right? It's just a statue, so they shouldn't be upset. So, um, but
Yeah, and one thing too I want to mention actually to jump off the irony train is like people were saying that oh there wasn't as much force used yesterday. Oh, they were being nice to these people, because it's his own people. And here's a tweet from Julio Rosas, who's been doing amazing coverage of all these uh, riots over the past few months and everything. And he says, someone who's covered many of these riots last year, I can say that this narrative is simply false. Tear gas, pepper balls, pepper spray, and flashbangs were all used yesterday just as they were used on rioters in 2020. So, I mean, there you have it. It's silly. Oh, apparently the mayor of Portland was punched by Antifa at a restaurant. Oh
get
my God.
hey Gamma, hop in Versamitas uh server and jump on the VC. Dude, don't call yourself an exiled Gamma. I thought you were I thought you were working. So
Yeah, Chaz is still open to him, so
yeah, quit.
as long as you have the permissions, you can jump in anytime.
In the words of Vox Day, quit being a fucking Gamma and and getting
Yeah, by the way, like, speaking of, like, personalities like that, and I'm not calling out Voxay because I don't think he has a Twitter, but, like, man, everybody's just gotta have their hot takes on all this stuff that's happening. They gotta be like, "Oh," from everything from, Trump's Hitler to Trump threw us under the bus to, we were everybody sucks, the world's gonna end, like, I'm getting really tired of these hot takes, especially from people on the right. They're trying to be
yeah.
like provocative and like, ooh, I'm
Well,
actually
well,
against a lot of things on the right.
those are the grifters, man. They'll change their shit on a dime,
Mm-hmm.
to make money, basically. Um, and in the case of what's what I want to know is, again, going back to the people who believe in Q. Uh, I want to see the mental gymnastics for how Trump is going to stay in office now. Because there are idiots like that out there who are still going to be like, trust the plan, guys.
Oh
Trump's.
God, see, I hate that sort of like hot take too. It's like something bad will happen. To be like, trust the plan. There's still time. We can still do it. And it's like, no. I mean, I've said for weeks that this is over. And, I wasn't saying that out of pessimism or optimism. I was just saying that out of the realistic
I
outlook of how things were.
I lost subscribers when I said that, and they were like,
Really.
"Oh, Sam, you're just I've never seen you like this. I didn't think you had a defeatist attitude.
Mm.
I'm very disappointed how you're just giving up." And it's like, I'm not giving up. I'm just I don't have a defeatist attitude. I'm just saying that this is the situation. I don't like it any more than you guys do, but I'm not going to be here and be like, yeah, there's a there's a way Trump, trust the plan. This is all part of Trump's master plan to stay in office and arrest pedos and all that stuff. Like and that's the other thing is like a lot of these conspiracy theorists, everything ties back to pedophile with them, and it's like, yeah, it's a problem, but not everything is a pedo ring either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. These some of these people are really silly, and I don't know. There's just like a lot. I'm like, I feel like, and that's why I sometimes say stuff online about this because I feel like there are certain opinions or voices that aren't being represented or stated out there. Like you have your people that are like, "Oh, these riders did nothing wrong." These people that say Trump and Q are to blame for all this. You have these people that are saying that Pence is a traitor. You have these people that are saying all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff going around, and I'm just sitting here like, look, I mean. This is a mess. Like, whatever you can say about it, it's a big mess right now. And
And
some good can come out of it, some bad, who knows? But what's happening, like with Trump's move right now with his video he just made, everything he said there, I didn't have a problem with. I knew he would say it. He said it. It's fine. Look, he's not. If he were to like all these people that destroyed property and it did all this, if he were to basically let him off the hook, you don't think they would come after him for that? You don't
and,
think they'd come after other people for that? It's like, what's he gonna do?
well, exactly. That's my entire point. What other option can someone explain to me what other option Trump had but to do that realistically?
Right.
I I,
And I
I
think and there's also keep in mind this too, because I'm just seeing this. Apparently, one of the Capitol Police has died now because they were hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. So
oh
that
yeah,
throws a big wrench into it.
yeah, it's you know, and and the worst part of it is too is like there is all this chaos and the politicians, they can pearl clutch and act outraged all they want, but and forgive me, maybe I am being a little pessimistic, but deep down, they love this
Mhm.
because it's they're getting oh crap. Oh, thought we lost the connection. There for a sec.
Now we so good.
No, we on YouTube it was saying no data, and now it's saying excellent connection. Thought we had gotten bit.
Yeah, I've had that a few times.
It always gives me a scare. It always gives me a scare when that happens because I'm like, oh shit, they got me. They cut me off. But yeah. And
Yeah, no, that hey, I don't blame you for thinking that. I just want to give a quick shout out to the people in chat. Donnie's back in chat. Thanks for joining us. She says, I like the look. Thank you. I designed it for the election day. Did you see the story for Italy did it? I did not. I'll look into that though.
Folks.
Oh, is that
Amazing.
Alex?
Yep.
A sleepy Alex. Voice of reason. Do you know how many Peter rings there are out there? Yeah, there are a shit ton. Dude, I believe you. But and Sam, I bet with you too on that. It's just it's not everything. It's not everywhere.
I'm
How
It's
many what?
the cute
How
people
many
take it
what
to
rings?
extreme.
yeah, I'm
What
not.
rings? Peter rings?
What was that?
What did you say? Peter rings? What the fuck is that?
Pedo.
Oh, pedophile rings.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yes.
yeah.
There's probably I don't know, man. There's probably like I don't know, like there depends on what like you're talking about. Like high level rings, there's probably like maybe five, like really like like the Epstein stuff. There's probably like 5 to 10 smaller scale like rings. Especially if you count places like Thailand and like the Philippines and stuff. There's probably a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably put that maybe like 100 like small scale ones. I
I'm
mean,
not I'm not even saying it's not a problem. It definitely is. I'm saying that I'm not s- I'm just saying that there are people who see it's almost like how the neo-Nazis blame the JQ for everything. It's like
I don't know about that
that
comparison.
that might that
'Cause
might that might be somewhat of a bad analogy, but they're obsessed. But both parties are like obsessed with it somewhat. So,
Well, do you see what happened with Epstein? Like highest levels of government, like one of the people on the British Crown
oh yeah,
was involved with a pedophile ring. Like Hollywood.
but what I'm saying too. This goes back. You kind of missed out on this, Alex. What I was saying is that the QAnon LARPers like to what they like to do is they like to tie Trump's victory. Like if Trump wins in 2020, then all the pedo rings will be exposed and like
Trump actually, if you look at the amount of people that were arrested for like child sex
Mm-hmm.
abuse during the Trump administration, like I think that was
It was
unprecedented.
unprecedented. It was like more than any other administration.
no
Yeah,
I
like a lot of that.
no I'm not disagreeing with that, but again, it's going back to the whole QAnon utopia thing, right? Like, Trump is not the second coming. Uh, I hate to say it. He's just a dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's human. He makes good moves. He makes bad moves. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Um,
And I think some people are way like again, there's two extremes of everything. I think some people praise him way too much and they're like, trust the plan. It's 5,000D underwater chess. And then there's the people that are
exactly.
like insanely critical of him. They're like what did you see his speech he just made, Alex?
No, no. I just saw like a bunch of these like complete shithead Republicans are like, oh, we're gonna impeach him. All this is like really like fucking Hogan, fucking Hoagie Hogan out of Baltimore, like the most corrupt fucking state. Like I wonder what he had to do to get into that position. Like who would he have?
Mhm.
Like talk about pedophile rings. I won't be surprised if that guy was involved with one of those.
Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah, and
You're
I'm
fucking
officially using the phrase for these people, establishment rhinos. I mean, I keep saying establishment Republicans, but they're not even Republicans because you get people that they'll be like, oh, look, Republicans are condemning him. They're on board with the 25th Amendment. I'm like, those aren't Republicans. Those are rhinos.
yeah,
Those are establishment.
the same people that Trump hated, like your Mitt Romney types. And what we need to do is someone needs to go and make a website. And
I've been talking about that. Make a website, make a list, and do like a grade on them, like
wait,
cuck or based.
wait, you have a website, Sean, that you're not using for anything.
I'm not gonna use that website.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, let's do it live.
Like,
Hey, that's how we can grow the org.
yeah, no, just like put like just links to all the like articles where they sit and like archive links to where all the shit they've said, all the shit they've done, you know, and
I've
just
been thinking about that. I don't want to give too much away on air, but I've been thinking about the idea of like, the Turning Point Professor watch list?
your a cuck rot watch list.
Yeah, pretty
Rhino
much.
watch list. Call it the Safari.
Yes. That's what I see because I've been talking to people about this because I don't know about you, but to me, there's a clear next step. There's a clear problem and a clear solution. The clear next step is to primary the establishment rhinos and to elect MAGA America First candidates. To me, that is the next step. And the problem really is that you get these people like Crenshaw's a great example. This is a guy who slithered his way into Congress, and we all thought he was cool at first. Like, oh, he's got this eye patch. He's kind of badass. Like, he's a Marine. Like, look at this guy. And then none of us knew because nobody did their research. That in 2015, he posted a Facebook post, basically, a Never Trump post, like bashing him, calling him bigoted, xenophobic, hates Muslims, like all these things. If you had had that in the primaries and you expose that on him, he would never have won. Never. He would have lost. So my solution, because I think, look, you can get somebody to go from loving to hating Crenshaw just by showing them that. You can get them to switch on a dime. So my idea is what you need to do is create a website that goes down all these people, everyone that's elected, everyone that's running, and has all like a cuck grade on them. Like, are they, or America First grade? I don't know, MAGA grade, something like
Rhino
that.
grade. Rhino.
Rhino
Like you
grade.
can even do stuff not related to Trump if they do Rhino shit, like donate like billions of dollars to like the ADL or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's all about those things. It's like a Rhino grade pretty much, and you want to, if you can expose that and you can share it, because look, when you have the influencers off the Twitter and off the Facebook, you need people to do. You need the populace to do it. So you have the website, you have people sharing it. I mean, they can ban the links, which probably will happen, but people can email it. But the point is, there needs to be a list,
Like
and
here's
we
what you
need to check it twice, and we need to find out who's cucky and who's based.
do, like some Animorph shit with the fucking graphics where it goes from lion to rhino. So like, grade A with like, you're actually like pro like America politician, that's a lion. Like that's fucking Trump for the most part.
Yes.
And then you go like lion to like what else would be like maybe like a tiger or dog or something. I don't know, like something like a wolf, lion, wolf,
Yeah.
dog, cow, hippopotamus, rhino.
Ogre. Ogre
Yeah.
for swamp monster.
Oh yeah, but like you'd have to like I'd like be like it sort of looks the same. They could like morph the silhouette like that shit.
We'll talk about this off air and we can like experiment with it because it needs to happen because there's nothing out there like it. I'm almost surprised there's nothing like it yet. But maybe it can become a part. I think that I don't know. Would that? Yeah, I guess that couldn't be a part of the org if we want to keep that nonpartisan. But
Well, it's not really non. Well, see, the NRA does like a rating list.
well, that's what I'm thinking. It's like those sort of ratings.
Yeah,
But
it's not
Well,
Trump. Like you can like they'll be full of Republicans anyways. More than Democrats, so they're gonna think you're more of a Democrat fucking thing. Or you can put Democrats on there because like someone like Tulsi Gabbard would probably have a higher fucking rating than Jeb Bush.
yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. Fat Kek Boy in chat, speaking on Crenshaw, says Trump hates Muslims, so says the guy who killed them for a living. Yeah, see that
Good point.
yeah,
Good point.
yeah, that's a good point. See, the thing with Crenshaw,
Crenshaw.
I'll admit when I with Cringe Shaw, maybe that's a good name for him.
Chat.
I'm stealing that one from Cernovich. He calls him Crenshaw.
I'll admit that when Crenshaw first came on the scene, I mean, I thought he looks cool. He looks like Snake from Escape from Escape from New York. He he had the eye patch. He he looked like a badass Marine. Up until you realize that he's totally establishment, and now he looks more like Ernst Stavro Blofeld.
Yes.
From the James Bond movies.
Yeah, if you took off his patch, he looked like freaking Blofeld.
Fucking Patrick the Pirate from SpongeBob.
Yes. People in our chat. We actually have some people in chat tonight, which is good. Voice of Reason says, this is not QAnon. This is government control of intelligence assets. They control the world. How many CCP spies have infiltrated institutions of higher learning? A lot. Look at the Confucius Institute, for one. Did you know that Epstein was protected by America and somebody else? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I learned about Epstein through PJW before he was ever busted. And I think that was during Pizzagate. Or
Yeah.
it was around that time.
Oh shit, we had Donnie on there for.
Yeah. I was actually going to message her to see how she was doing recently, but I'll still hit her up.
Saucon, I never followed Q, no option. I do support President Trump. Yeah, Saucon, I mean, you're not alone. That's what I was saying at the very beginning of the program. Like the vast majority of Trump supporters are not on board with Q. None of us even have the vast majority of us have no idea what Q even is.
Yeah, that's one thing I really disagree with, and I like Mike Cernovich a lot. I like a lot of the work he does. One thing I disagree with him, I saw this just today. Somebody tweeted, "Not every Trump voter is on board with the Q movement. In fact, the vast majority are not. Stop lumping the two together." And Cernovich says at this point it's 90% who are, and I'm like,
No,
uh,
that's false.
I literally said a few minutes ago, like, it's about 10% of our side that believes in Q. Like, I'm totally
If
on the
10,
opposite of that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's probably high.
if 10, I'd say more like
Yeah.
I'd say more like 7, and that's being generous.
Oh, we need to go and get a fucking poll on this.
Yo, yeah, people in chat, if you believe in Q, type Q. If you do not, say, oh God, I guess no. Q for people that believe in Q, and no for people that do not believe in Q.
Like, someone needs to actually do like an actual poll though, like
Like
an
a Gallup poll.
like one of those ones where they pay you money for your opinion that people actually take seriously.
Mm. Yeah, Perry Sargon's doing a good analysis of everything going on, so I encourage people to check that out too.
I feel like people would still say like yes just to fuck with with the poll.
Well, yeah, but even then, it's
Yeah,
a lot of them probably don't even know what the fuck Q is.
They'll be like, "Oh, the guy from Bond? Yeah, I don't really follow that guy much."
that
Yeah,
is
like
that's the unfortunate thing too is I saw I saw a great meme where it's like I believe in Q. No, I mean this Q shows the
Mm,
Q from Star Trek The Next Generation.
yeah.
No. I meant I believe in this Q, then shows the Q from James Bond.
Yeah,
So
I was tempted on like Twitter and Facebook just to see what would happen. I'd be like, I follow Q or Q sent me, and I was gonna put a picture of Q with like the Aston Martin and the seat coming out of the ejector seat and all that shit, all the gadgets, like just to see what
oh
people would
yeah.
say.
So,
I mean, some people go cringe, bro, and then you have those people be like, "Oh, wink, wink, you are a Qer." I'm like, God damn it. No,
yeah,
that's a good way to separate the Q people out of my Facebook friends and get rid of them
H-Bug says Q is Q is a horoscope for beginners. Or no, Q
for
is
boomers.
yeah, Q is a horoscope for boomers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. That
al-
sums it up.
although H-Bug to be honest, like my parents are baby boomers and like they were like, yeah, this QAnon thing is pretty fucking stupid. They're like they're who my parents are like who actually believes in uh you, and I'm like it's just like you guys said, stupid people. So
Yeah, it is amazing though that how many people have fallen for him we're still talking about. I wonder though, will it fade out after January 20th, or is it going to take a new phase? Is this its final form?
I don't know.
I
Does Q
mean
know? Who knows? It's just a goofy horoscope, but uh I mean,
it'll
I was posting a line in the news chat and whatnot, but this is one of the ones that really caught my eye too. There was a article posted by Vox, of course, and the headline on their tweet for the article says how a failure to learn from the lessons of Gamergate's hate campaign contributed to the out of control violence at the US Capitol today. So not only is Trump to blame for the violence, not only is Q to blame for the violence, uh, but now gamers are too.
Of course. So of course, because we have to tie everything back to Gamergate and Comicsgate too. We
Yeah.
No one's even
I
talking
mean,
about comics, but gate. Like it's nowhere near what Gamergate was.
no, but well, let me put it this way though. Whenever Comicsgate does get mentioned, it gets immediately tied to Gamergate. But then
Well,
again,
I'm
there's
kind of.
probably there is probably a tie to those two.
but
Yeah,
then
there are some similarities from I remember.
and then I mean, then again, I'm more of a I'm more of a comic book nerd than I am a gamer. So that's just me.
I'm on the reverse. I'm a born again gamer. I was in my younger years, and then when I hit high school, college, it kind of mostly college. I didn't have time for it. I didn't have a console with me, and I just had my laptop, so I wasn't really into it then. But I kind of kept an ear on the ground, and now I'm back into it. So born again gamer.
Kevin Dugan asks, "Are there any demons in here?" Why, yes, Kevin. Why, yes, Kevin. There are. Um, so welcome. And
Voice of Reason says what Q was a game started for 4chan people to play and decode the messages. I think Q will last as long as people are interested. It was a game that got out of control. Yeah, I've always kind of said it was like a troll or a meme that became controlled opposition. But he does ask, what do you guys know about the global reset?
okay, so
Great reset, I think, is what they're talking about, right?
yeah, the great. So a lot of it seemed like smoke and mirrors to me too. Like, I don't know if you guys are much follow crypto much, but like I keep hearing it like, the great, like we're all gonna be on cryptocurrency. We're all gonna have digital wallets. We're all gonna have like I keep hearing that like XRP is gonna be the new like global currency, or something like that. So again, this whole great reset thing, I don't know. Let me put it this way: it could be real, but for right now, I'm kind of treating it like Q, where I'm kind of like skeptical of it. So
Well, I think things like Bitcoin aren't in their current state are not going to reach the masses, but I do think paper money will cease to exist within 10 to 20 years. I think the government will want to force people to use digital currency, not just because it's a easier thing for them to track and trace so that nothing's taxed, but it's it will just be, what people will eventually be like, "Oh, this is the modern, new, nice way to do it. I already do everything digital." And so it's kind of the seeds are already planted there, and then the government's just gonna be like, "Well, this is a way where we can track your money, make sure our taxes are collected, and watch." There would be less fraud, theoretically, less illegal money, but of course it would
Well,
still be out there.
no, my issue with that is unless they have some sort of like internet bill of rights or something,
Mhm.
how that's going to create a situation where, like, let's say you're Alex Jones, they can just completely ban you off of having access to money at all.
Yeah.
Like that, like at least in real life, you can always have physical currency, but if we live in this great reset world, unless there is some sort of guarantee that they can't do that to you, it's pretty difficult. Like I was reading somewhere, like there was an article and it was like it's easier, like it's actually pretty difficult to like really like hold your Bitcoin anywhere safely. Like it's not as easy as people make it out. Like I think if you're a felon, like there's things that prevent you from doing that, especially if you've been caught with like money laundering before, but you would never see that with actual like hard currency. Like even if you're a pedophile, you can still buy, you can still hold physical cash.
Mhm.
And that's sort of my thing. Like, and I think they found like, out of all the currencies, like the easiest one to like get was fucking RuneScape money, and you could actually use that to buy shit because you can convert to other things. Like it was funny. It was easier to use fucking RuneScape money than Bitcoin.
That's hilarious. Well, I do think though that yeah, you're 100% right. Like there needs to be some internet bill of rights for that to be implemented because like you said, people could easily be discriminated on this. Um, you know, easily, just incredibly easily. And I think it's inevitable there's gonna be an internet bill of rights of sorts. I just hope it's
I don't
done
think so.
properly.
No, they're gonna love this because then they could be like, oh well, you can just use a different currency. Like the fucking libertarians out there, which
Of
fuck those
course.
people. Like
Yeah,
fuck
get
those
them
people.
out.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's big government or big tech. If you're getting fucked in the ass, it's gonna hurt when you sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they they just have such a childish one-dimensional view on things, and that's one of my biggest, you know, I say realizations, red pills that's happened the past 4 years is exactly what you said. Where it doesn't matter how you're getting screwed or who's screwing you, you're getting screwed, and there's always a balance to things. There's always a balance. Too much of one thing's bad, too much of the other is bad. So it's, I mean, you're going to see a lot of alternative currencies being used, I think, but will they be accepted? That's the bigger thing. I mean, yeah, Bitcoin's accepted in some places, but most normal places, I don't see Bitcoin accepted. But virtual wallets are 100% the future. Love it or hate it, it's the future.
Yep.
But it becomes dangerous because imagine when the power goes out because that's what I think is gonna happen. You're gonna have massive blackouts in the future. Like California's already seeing rolling blackouts that I guess are still happening, but I have a feeling that you're gonna see some, you know, uh, not just cyber attacks, but just infrastructure failures where we have massive blackouts and you have nothing. Like you can't do anything. So there's gonna have to be some sort of backup to that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Especially like that solar winds hack, man. That's gonna be really interesting because that just happened. That was just information gathering, I think, for the most part. But let's say they want to actually do something. They already had access to your fucking government servers. For like
Mhm.
local governments that run your power stations, like they could have done some real shit.
I think I can hear Alex fine, but someone is saying, "Are you interviewing somebody locked in the basement? We can barely hear him." Is that Sean that you guys can't hear, or
Wait, Sean, are you having a hard time hearing me?
No, I can hear you fine, but what I had to do on Discord is I turned you up to 200% volume, and Sam, you're at like 90%.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think that's Alex then.
I think I'm gonna. Think, yeah, I think I might
Did
have.
you move your mic closer, Alex?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was the same distance it was yesterday.
Oh, that's better already.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
fine.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, Kevin, I don't have anybody in my basement. I live in Florida. We don't have basements here, buddy. So,
Voice of Reason says in our chat, would you all think of the elites gather in Davos, Switzerland, and discuss the lives of little people? Hey, it's just like Bilderberg. It's just like Bohemian Grove. It's a place where elites are meeting. And yeah, they're probably doing, like in Bohemian Grove, some fratty stuff, but you gotta imagine they're carving out some deals. They're talking shop, talking business, and especially at Bilderberg and Davos, absolutely. It's where the globalists meet and come up with all their schemes. Don't forget Joe Biden's platform, Build Back Better. That is a global platform. Yep, that's a
Dude, he
UN
literally.
globalist phrase.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Like fucking Biden, man. This is gonna suck ass.
Yep. They used to say New World Order. People caught on, so they changed it. Nah, I don't think that's really what it is.
It's the same fucking thing. It's the same
Yeah,
fucking.
like
They're remarketing it.
yeah, they're just remarketing like a new. It's just a new term for this. a part of their bigger plan, which I guess you could say is a new world order, and the Build Back Better is just a part of it. The global reset's a part of it. It's chapters in a plan. What do you think that Jeff Bezos? What? Why do people think that Jeff Bezos is the richest man on earth? Well, he was, but he's not anymore. Imagine what happened if you don't do what they want you to do. They can maybe flip a switch and you're gone. Exactly. That's the fear of everything we're describing. But yeah, Elon Musk is now the richest person in the world, which I find very interesting that our outsider Elon took the top slot now away from globalist Bezos.
Well, he was always pretty wealthy, like since PayPal, like in terms of like millionaires, billionaires. He wasn't fucking poor ever. It was
Oh
just
yeah, but I mean, think of how much money Bezos has from. Oh, you know what it is? The freaking divorce, dude. That's what.
women are fucking expensive, especially if you don't work out well with them.
Yeah,
You get married. That's
I
why if
was
you're a
gonna
man,
say.
don't
I'm,
marry people that you don't like 100% for sure like won't divorce. You know,
yeah, I'm always the biggest guy that will preach marry the woman you love and that you'll love for the rest of your life because I mean divorces are awful. Just doesn't matter who's doing them. They're awful, awful, awful. I would never want to deal with that because then you have lawyers getting involved that are doing dirty stuff that you may think, oh, these lawyers are out there for me. They're helping me. Like they're just helping themselves get a bigger deal out of it. So they'll do some downright awful things to your soon to be ex-wife just so that they can get more
do you
out of
see
it.
that from Voice of Reason? Come on, man, think of how much money the Rockefellers have. Like I don't think they really have that much money anymore because like for every generation that wealth gets fucking split. You
Yeah, and
know,
the Rockefellers aren't in. Dude, do you realize how big Amazon is? It is where people buy everything from. I mean, everybody probably buys something from Amazon once a week, I'd say, or once every other week, especially during these times.
I don't know, dude. Like other than for Christmas, I really don't use Amazon that much. I'd rather just go.
Really?
It's an excuse to get out to the store.
Well, see, I'd like to, but everything I want is never in stores.
Exactly.
And that's where Amazon can corner the market, and they're doing it really well during the pandemic. And I mean, the Rockefellers, like, what are they in now? I don't even know. First,
They probably have power, but I don't think their wealth is as high as it used to be. Because like, here's the thing, like the macro level, like government, like strong, like hard times build strong men, blah blah blah. Like that pretty much happens to a degree with like rich people. Like unless like the original people out there who get rich, like they're fucking great. Like they're smart. They know how to spend their money and how not to spend it. But then their kids, unless they like teach them from a very young age, like how to, actually generate wealth and keep it, they're not going to know how to do that stuff.
right.
They're not going to know how to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, they're still a wealthy family for sure. He says they're in everything. Yeah, I could see. I mean, I'm looking at some of the stuff right now, but I mean, just look at Bezos. The guy, through this one site, has accumulated so much wealth that he became the wealthiest man in the world from one website, pretty much. And it's a website that is very central to our economy. I mean, you can't ignore the power and influence that guy has, which I think that's what's changing now is like, yeah, the Rockefellers may be in a lot of things, but Bezos is only in like one thing that has tentacles, and people will be like, oh, well, that's like the same with real estate. I'm like, kind of like the Rockefellers, but it's a little different because the way they got their money, that's family money. Bezos doesn't have family money. He started this shit, and now he was the richest man in the world for decent amount of time. But what screwed him was that divorce. I mean, because Elon, yeah, he's got a lot of money, but Tesla isn't exactly making the biggest of profits yet. And yeah, he's gonna haul in some money, but to catch up to Bezos, I when I first saw that, I was like, how do you catch up to Bezos so quickly? And I remember it's that freaking divorce that
Well, he's getting those investors right now, and that's
when
where he's making most of his money from. I think
oh
it's
really?
from. I think it's from
I
these
remember it's that
investors. They
freaking
just like keep dumping money into the stocks because they think it'll pay off. It's like tech companies. like where they'll be valued at like incredibly high, even though they don't produce anything or actually produce negative profit for the first like 5 years or something. But here's the one thing with them: I think that they are going to do pretty well under the Biden administration because they're an electric car. I think they're going to get advantages for that.
They might. They might.
Like that's probably why the stock prices I imagine they're pretty high right now, because that's sort of what they plan on. Because I know like him and Trump got us in beef. Because here's the thing with electric cars: they're not profitable right now unless they have massive subsidies.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I mean,
Yeah.
Elon was kind of afloat because of subsidies for the longest time.
Yeah, that's how it works, Getting them.
Voice of Reason says, thanks to Woodrow Wilson selling us to the real money people. The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers are so rich that those two families have over half the wealth on planet Earth. I'm gonna need a fact check on that.
I dispute that, because the Rockefellers and shit made their money before. I think they made it even before Woodrow Wilson, like probably back in the 1800s.
Bro, they made it in like, let's see.
Like that was like during Woodrow Wilson's, like that was after they had like trust busting and shit.
So David Rockefeller Sr. How is that different? Senior. Let's see.
I keep
Trying
thinking
to
of
look
fucking
on
Clams
Wikipedia.
Rockefeller. Like what was that? Yeah, I think it was Clams Rockefeller. I love that shit.
Let's see. Yeah, it was like late 1700s to late 1800s, if I'm being generous, of like the big Rockefellers. David Rockefeller, though, let me check on him because he's obviously the most famous one. Let's see when he was. Yeah, that's what I thought. He died recently? Is this the same Rockefeller? Oh, I'm thinking of John D. Rockefeller. That's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, he was from 1874 to 1960. That's how long he lived.
Oh, RuneScape turns 20 today, I think, or maybe it
Oh,
was
happy
yesterday.
birthday, RuneScape. Did you get any special perks from that?
Yeah, they have an event. You have to go and help this like Shrek-looking motherfucker.
Just Shrek-looking motherfucker.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and John D. Rockefeller. Yeah. Oh, was there two John D. Rockefellers? This is already getting confusing. I think the one we all know about. Yeah, the big one with Standard Oil and all that shit. That was 1839 to 1937. That was the Rockefeller that I was thinking of. Don't ever forget they like to hide their wealth in family foundations and charitable organizations. I mean, yeah, that's the way they get out of taxes and stuff, but I still don't think that those two families have half the wealth on the planet. That's insane, like numbers that it would have to be.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
even know how big
fucking
the Rothschilds are anymore.
they still have they still have money, but I think it's more like once you have money for so long, you can convert it into power,
Yeah.
and that's where most of their stuff is. Like they have money for sure, but it's better to have power because you can't get like taxed on fucking power. Like I mean, other than physical electricity.
Yeah, and also like these family trees can get so wide. It's like, well, where do you say the Rothschilds sort of start and end? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, hell, dude, I have friends who are distantly related to the Rockefeller.
Yeah, exactly. They need us to believe that they are not that wealthy. Do they? I mean, knowing somebody's wealthy is one thing. Knowing somebody's powerful is another thing. Money is power. They don't pay taxes. No, they pay taxes. They just don't, pay what they're technically supposed to. They find loopholes, and I don't blame them. Honestly, don't blame that at all.
Yeah, do you see what the rate is? Like the fucking tax rate, like once you start getting
Yeah,
high
nobody would
enough?
want to pay that.
Like that's straight up like bullshit. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
like
and
fuck.
look, we feel ya. Voice of reason, like we know the elites control the world. We know there's a lot of rich, powerful people. They're behind a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong, but we're just trying to, look at it from as much of a realistic stance as possible. Let's see. So oh yeah, did you see CNN was calling they were kind of gaslighting people? Because I posted this in the news, like they were calling the people that rioted on the Capitol, they were calling them terrorists.
Yeah,
They,
Yeah.
yeah, this is what they're doing. Oh, it's like 9/11. No, it's
man,
fucking
it's an
not
inside
funny.
job.
Yeah, if CNN existed in the 1700s, they'd be calling the fucking like they'd be saying, "Oh, these attacks against the British, that's terrorism." I mean, yeah, technically, I mean, this wasn't even they didn't even like really attack anything. They just went to the people's house. They just paid to visit. They had a party at the people's house.
Yeah, CNN doxed the people that were rioting. They said these are the rioters in the domestic terror attack. So this is a terror attack. But Antifa and Black Lives Matter, whenever they do stuff, no, it's just a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
And AG Barr threw Trump under the bus. He said, quote, orchestrating a mob to pressure Congress is inexcusable. The president's conduct yesterday was a betrayal of his office and supporters.
No, it's not.
No, Trump never orchestrated a mob. That's
He told them literally
silly.
to stop. Then Facebook, fucking Mark
Deleted it.
Zuckerberg. Yeah, like they should be the ones held for fucking treason.
Yeah, did you see they put him they banned him they locked him out of his account indefinitely, and they said like, well, it's gonna be at least 2 weeks, at least till he's out of office. At
Where
least.
people need to go and fucking like have a conversation with that Zuckerberg.
How
You know
do
what
you
I
want to
mean?
have this conversation? You want him to storm Facebook?
Well, I can't say that they should, but should be creative.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I'll say if I'm gonna make a prediction, I think people are gonna storm the big tech companies. Maybe not when Trump gets banned. Maybe they will. I don't know, but I think people are gonna be a little quieter for a little bit, but just for a little bit. But I'm telling you, man, the tech companies are gonna piss people off next, and
See, no, it's kind of great what they're doing because it's
it's
accelerationism.
accelerationism. Yeah.
It fucking seems to work now. That's the only way you can get shit done. It's like have people realize like, hey, this place literally does. Because that was the thing. Like a lot of people are like, oh, they don't discriminate against conservative. Trump's still on there. Like, look now, buddy, he's not. Like it's defeating their fucking
Their
argument.
narrative.
Yeah.
Yep. And see, this is I am the biggest supporter of the accelerationism on social media because not only when you get all the influencers off, not only when you get the politicians off, when you get the normal people off, then they start feeling it. Then they start caring, like, oh yeah, maybe this censorship is kind of bags. It's kicking me off.
Trump's supporters should do, especially now with this coronavirus pandemic, because Facebook keeps censoring them and say, hey, unless you go and like just start meeting in person, like with large crowds, and then if the police say anything, they're like, hey, well, I got banned off of Facebook, so I can't do that anymore. That way, you
Hmm.
can, like sort of fucking like pressure Facebook and stuff because they're basically causing this to happen.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. I have to say Tucker makes a very good point. Because I saw a clip of his monologue from last night of something that everybody should be doing with this is take a step back, and I don't care how you feel about what happened yesterday about the siege on the Capitol or the terrorist attack, or whatever you want to call it. Just try to understand why it happened. Understand that so if you don't want any more violence, you can understand why this happened and how we can prevent it from happening. Understand why people are pissed off. Understand who benefits from this, who wants this to happen, and understand why. And I think the two biggest reasons this happened is because of the courts not doing anything, or I'll give three: the courts not doing anything, establishment rhinos doing nothing, and for the mainstream media and social media companies for, you know, creating a biased alternate reality and radicalizing people.
Yeah.
Like Paul Joseph wants to make a great tweet. He said, "The bedwetting over yesterday is a weapons grade cringe. A leftist literally tried to massacre multiple Republican congressmen, and the news cycle moved on from it within 24 hours. Leftists burned American cities for 6 months straight, and the media pretended it didn't happen. Give me a fucking break." Spare me the sanctimonious bullshit from the same people who have ignored / tactically approved of / incited massive violence of riots across America for the past 6 months, suddenly hyperventilating over riots. Quote, "It's okay when we do it," unquote. Sit the fuck down. Yeah, Paul's right.
Well, you know, this all again, this goes back to my point that if Trump did one thing right in his presidency, it's that he pulled the fucking veil off. You know how corrupt these people really are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big red pill people swallowed.
Yeah. So
yeah, apparently Did you see Baked Alaska was actually confirmed as one of, and CNN even pretty much doxed him as one of the people that rioted on the Capitol.
That's funny.
I did. I saw that. I saw that last night actually, but yeah, it was confirmed this morning.
Because I know we talked about it last night and I said it was false. The reason I said it was false is because I saw Nick's tweet that said that he wasn't there. And I thought he was also saying that Baked wasn't there and that the whole thing was fake. But it turns out Nick wasn't there, but Baked was there. He would be fucking Baked Alaska. Grifting his way to prison.
Baked, yeah. I mean, I was with you. I thought Baked was still in prison for the whole RV6 thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, Tim Gianni or whatever his name is a trust funder. So
Really?
yeah.
Shit. Oh, apparently, dude, this is the New York Post headline. This is peak Baked Alaska. It says far-right streamer Baked Alaska stormed Capitol while COVID-19 positive.
That's funny. Oh my god, that'd be funny because then those fuckers have to like quarantine, like they won't be able to go in the office.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's actually pretty funny. I disavow, but that's pretty funny to me.
Yeah, disavow. Let's send in the disavow hammer.
Yeah,
Everybody disavow.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, and email Strong, like, dude, you're spreading fake news here. He goes, Nick Fuentes and Baked Alaska vandalizing Pelosi's office. Dude, Nick wasn't there. That's fake news. Stop. Oh, Betsy DeVos just resigned. Just got a notification. Elaine Chao, the transportation secretary, resigned this afternoon, and now Betsy DeVos, education secretary, just resigned.
What are they gonna do anyways? I don't care if these people fucking resign. No one liked her anyways. Like Trump was probably the only one that actually supported her.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, these people were doing this after there were these mass resignations, not mass, but like, you know, there were a few of them after yesterday's events. Like, I don't know why people were cucking out that way.
Well, it's gonna show on their fucking legacy.
Yeah.
That they were pussies. And like, do they think the left's gonna support Betsy DeVos? No. They fucking beat her guts. Do you think, like maybe someone on the fucking right will, but I doubt it. After her shit, no one's gonna fucking want to deal with her. She's done.
Yeah. Seeing if anything else is happening, but yeah, let's see what the chat's saying. I haven't checked in on that. Oh, hello, Metal for Life. Hello. Chat. What is that? Alex, what is that?
That's that truck guy I told you about.
Dude, that's a
It's a gnome child.
Is that a Fed? Is that a KKK federal Shrek agent?
No, they do have the KKK in here.
Yeah, it's that.
No,
It's
it's not.
the green version of it.
The green, the GGG,
Yeah, the GGG.
good girl gamer.
Yeah, yes. Oh god.
Well, so here's a question I want to pose to kind of wrap up this or I guess we can keep going for a little bit, but I do kind of want to keep this one relatively shortish. But where do we go from here as like commentators? What do you think the future of our media is like, especially considering that they're coming after us? Oh.
Well, oh, I'm glad you did a poop today, Mel for life. I did one too. Um, what is the future for us? Well, the future is we gotta keep doing what we're doing, but we need to back up our shit, and we need to be on alternatives, and we need to push for these companies to either get regulated, which I don't think is going to happen, or push for them to get sued and destroyed, or sued and forced to change the rules or apply them evenly. And like I've been saying, like we were talking about the list earlier, but we need to expose the establishment cucks, tell people about, it, show them the evidence, and support MAGA America First candidates. This is the only way to go. This is the only way. And it's the only way anything's going to start changing and this movement's going to keep growing and continuing. But we're not going to survive on these platforms. There's an expiration date. I think that's the best way to look at it, is that when you start your channel, when you start your Twitter, when you start anything, just assume there's an expiration date and you don't know what's going to happen. Voice Reason said whatever happened to freedom of speech, it's dead. It's dead, and we're trying to bring it back.
The
So,
libertarians wouldn't fight for it for non-government. Blame your
yeah.
libertarian friends.
Yeah, so you have people, I mean, a lot of people in 2016 that were banned in 2017 that were really banned, and you had these libertarians that from their entire existence, even during those times and now, they're still saying they're private companies, they can do whatever they want. Like, dude, that crap is over. It's stupid. It's totally childish view of the world right now. And I mean, if you want to protect freedom of speech, you need to protect it on online and offline. When social media is a public square, when YouTube is the video platform, you gotta protect it. So I think the thing we need to consider, not just like I said with candidate support, whatnot, is we need to think of solutions. We need to push for them. We need to change hearts and minds. Get these libertarians on board or get them out, because these little fractions and fringes, people say they don't matter, and they might not. But the way I look at it is, you want to get as many votes as possible. If they're going to cheat things, if they're going to try to do everything they can to stop anybody from winning, you need every vote you can get. So let's try getting these people on board. If I don't know what the best way to persuade them is, but let's figure it out, because we tried beating them over the head with, come on, guys, wake up. These are oligopolies, megacorps. This is not a free market. They don't listen to that, but maybe we should try something else. Maybe try it again. I don't know, but you need to get more people on board.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is to start framing it as, it's not a left versus right thing. It's a outsiders versus insiders thing. It's a anti-establishment versus establishment. It's the people versus the elite. Like, I think we need to be using better framing like that. I think that's something that's more unifying, that clicks with people better. It's simpler. It doesn't have partisan baggage. It's relatable. I think we need to get more along that. Voice of reason. I'm a true conservative. Cool. Awesome. Conserve our history and our heritage and the Constitution. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, no, I think we need to go and push forward more with some of this stuff, though. We need to go and push forward with Internet Bill of Rights. I think we need to go and have a new fucking amendment saying that your own private thoughts can never be made illegal. I think that needs to be done before they figure out a way to do so.
Yeah, I agree. I think the internet bill, like, I think people need to remember that, yeah, the government can be evil. CIA is very evil. Who's also evil is big tech, arguably more evil.
Yeah, corruption is evil.
Yeah.
That just no matter what your political ideology is, corruption fucks it up.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're
Yep.
like a fucking left wing libertarian or a right wing authoritarian, your fucking corruption will destroy whatever utopia bullshit you want. The only way to go and get anything decent is to stamp out the corruption. Like, look at
Yeah.
fucking Liberia. They had the same constitution as the United States, and guess what? Corruption fucked it up.
Yeah. Well, look, it's like anything. Look, power is corruptible. You can get corrupt in power. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's inevitable in these, and that proves that these tech companies have a lot of power. That proves it right there. That if there's this much corruption, there's a lot of power, and they're very powerful. I think what people forget, because everybody likes to talk about, oh, the biased media, oh, the media controls everything, man. They're the ones with all the power. Like, yeah, but I'd argue the tech companies have way more power now because they not only control the information flow, like the media does. They used to be the alternative. If you couldn't find a story on the news channels, you could Google it. You could go on Twitter, and people could talk about. But the alternative voices are being censored. Social media is being censored. You can't find alternative viewpoints anymore. And on top of that, they're using algorithms to manipulate you. They're literally manipulating you without you even realizing it. So they're making you more radical. They're making you more left wing. They're making you more right wing. They are rewiring your brain. It's a deeper, more subversive, more manipulative, and way more devastating effect than the mainstream media could ever do. But the mainstream media right now, New York Times is crying over the damage Trump supporters have done to the Capitol. This is a tweet they sent where they have this like shelf that's fallen over, and I don't even know if it's broken. I think the pieces just fell off. And it says these display cabinets that used to be filled with historical books of women in politics lay on the ground destroyed.
Just a vow.
Based? Disavow? Question mark? I strongly disavow. Very bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was they let them in basically. If they wanted to stop, they could have used like rubber bullets. They could have done a better job policing it. They knew this was going to be big, and they chose to ignore it.
Yeah. The other thing too, I need to mention this because it's not being reported. There's video now out showing that when people were smashing the windows to the Capitol, there were a bunch of Trump supporters that were literally, you see in one of them, the guy pulled, like, because somebody's hitting him with like a club, like a mini club. Another guy like pulls his arm, yanks his arm down, and is yelling at him to stop. There were people fighting about this, about actually breaking into it. So this narrative that it was just this massive mob of people that wanted to storm the Capitol is completely false. There are a lot of people that didn't want to do that, but people did and they got in. So make of it what you will. Sean Gay. Oh, thanks for the emojis. If you could translate those to super chats, I'd like them even more. Gay is Sean. Disavow. I disavow that strongly.
Hey, Sean has curly hair, but he's not gay, okay?
Thanks, Sam. Alex, am I gay?
No, maybe.
Maybe. Wow, thanks for the strong words of support there. Oh man. Let's see if there's anything stupid on Twitter before we close out.
Now, is Fluffy Phil gay? Sometimes.
He is gay for military prisons. I will say that.
Yeah, he loves that Black Swan or whatever.
Black Swan. That's a movie. You're talking about Black Dolphin. Oh god. Oh, another thing that happened too was Simon Schuster, who is the publisher that Milo was going to be under, but then when he has controversy, they canceled his book. They have now canceled Josh Hawley's book.
Oh yeah, what do you expect? They did this with Milo. Like, why are you going with these same douchebag publishers?
Well, see, Simon Schuster makes no sense because they canceled Milo, but and I bet it's going to get canceled now. But they were going to make a book with Laura Loomer, and again, they were going to make one with Josh Hawley, but now it got canceled. And I remember when that happened with Milo. Even Julian Assange weighed in on that and said, this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Voice of Reason. Have you seen the video where the police opened the gates? They didn't knock them down or jump them. I didn't see that, but I did see a video when there was a cop on the steps and there was one guy approaching him with mass of people behind him, and the cop kept running back. I've not seen that particular video, sir, but I shall look into that. But there's been a lot of funny memes that came out of this.
As there usually are.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I didn't post the recent ones that I found in the chat. I'll post those and I'll show the people them. Let's see. Here's one. Oh wait, I already posted that one. Shit. Sorry. Let me delete that. Yeah, so this is a good one.
When your custom character appears in the cutscene.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking true.
My favorite one was the Virgin BOM Antifa versus the Chad Boomers. Dude, Boomers rise up. Hell of a redemption arc for the Boomers. So the Virgin Antifa, $10 million in support from local governments, no actual change, free reign in every major city, only manages to terrorize people and burn businesses. The Chad Boomers storms Capitol, goes straight for the throat, fights Secret Service, does it all for insane internet conspiracy invented by Fat Man in the Philippines. Single day of rioting, actual city untorched or untouched, same difference. Actually does what everyone else has been threatening to do for decades.
Yeah.
Where is the lie here? Where is it?
I mean, again.
And there's the choose your fighter one. That's a good one.
I mean,
Barbarian, the thief, the usurper, the spy, the berserker, and the witch.
I love that old grandma who was in there. That's so funny.
The witch.
Yeah, I guess that's her. Where is this, by the way? Just in chat.
It's in the memes channel. Scroll up. It's right past the Virgin Chad meme.
Yeah, the fucking witch, Eldritch Mage, and Sandy was declined due to potion brewing. Can see the spirit rum. Yes.
Dude, what is that though? Like, my God. Oh, Jesus.
Dude, some of this shit was fucking funny.
Yeah. Dude, the guy with the podium was funny. And the barbarian. Those two were funny as shit.
Oh my God. Did they ever retrieve the podium?
I don't know. He probably saw he probably sold it on eBay or on no, you know what he showed on his main OnlyFans and been like, hey, you want to see some sexy rare artifacts? And he's got like the podium there. He's got like shit from Pelosi's office. I love the guy that like was in Pelosi's office and took a selfie on with his feet up on the desk. And then he like took like a souvenir, like one of her like letters, and then he's I didn't take it for free. I left a quarter.
So I'm surprised no one like took a shit in her office.
They did it on her like driveway or something, I think a few weeks ago.
I know, but if you're in the office.
Wait, what? Someone took a shit in Pelosi's driveway?
Well, she lives in California. You don't know if that was like done purposefully or if it was done by, the fucking legion of homeless people.
Yeah, honestly, it could have been either one.
Or it could have or in the case of California, it could have been both. It could have been a disgruntled it could have been like a disgruntled homeless person who was both shitting on Pelosi's property because they, needed a place to go, but also, as a way to say fuck you to her.
Yeah. Oh, and also, Voice of Reason in the chat is saying that the Barbarians BOM, that's fake news. Elijah Schaefer already debunked that. He's talked to the guy multiple times. He's a big Q guy. He literally holds a sign that says Q sent me. Which, no comment. He's definitely one of these Trump people. I mean, I've seen a lot of shit getting spread around, like the Antifa infiltrated, the Feds infiltrated. Look, very possible. There's been professional agitators before. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the last. But he definitely was not. And oh wait, oh yeah, you know what they were calling? I think it was him. I'm not gonna pull up the CNN tweets. I don't want to dox any of these people, but was it news or was it in general? I posted it. Yeah, it was in general. Oh, do you like my emojis on the channels?
How do I access these emojis?
They're on the channel names. You can see them on there.
Dude, it seems like fuck that. I think that's silly. I think it's silly.
You think it's silly?
Yeah, it is like, what the fuck? What is this?
I've seen other channels do it. I thought I'd give it a try, see if it like made it easier, like to, because there's so many channels, you can just like see the one like
that's fucking like a RuneScape party hat.
What?
It's got like the RuneScape party hat.
Which one's that?
The party hat.
No, that's a crown.
Hold on, let me find
It's a crown because we're like the hosts, we're the kings, we're the queens. Well, there's one queen in there, but we're the kings of it. Slay queen. But yeah, so the barbarian dude, you know what CNN was calling him? Because they always had their name, then they had like a title below them. Like the dude sitting on Pelosi's desk, they call him leader, pro gun rights group. And then, they had for Baked Alaska, they call him far right activist. And the last dude that's the founder of Proud Boys Hawaii, fun fact, that's Milo's producer.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Okay, go to general.
Hold on.
I know the viewers and listeners aren't gonna be able to do this, but if you look it up, there's a CNN investigation that they did, where they basically doxed like 4 of these main people that stormed the Capitol. So are you seeing that tweet in general, Alex?
Let me look. I just found the party hats.
Yeah, it's from the it's in general, not in the party hats.
The Black Lives Matter one. No one can tell me that if there's been a group, that the one you're talking about.
No, I'll just DM it to you. I'll just DM it to you. It's easier. So this one right here.
Oh, that one. Oh, that's fucking funny. You can make you're smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, the guy smoking the cigarette, that's Milo's producer.
Wait, so they are asking for help identifying domestic terrorists, and then they just put their names there.
Well, it was their investigation, but yeah, I guess. Well, the FBI was looking for more people, but these were the ones they were able to ID or dox. Like, look at the guy on the far left, the barbarian. They called him QAnon shaman.
Dude, he looks fucking badass. Fucking awesome.
On the far left, the barbarian. They called him QAnon shaman.
Dude, he looks fucking
and then
badass.
Baked Alaska, they call him a far right activist. That is generous. The dude's a grifter. He's not right. He's not left. He's just a grifter.
Yeah, dude, look at the boomer over there, like the one to the right of the shot.
On the desk.
That is
generous. The dude's a grifter. He's not right. He's not left. He just
he looks such a fucking boomer. Dude, look at the boomer.
I know he's like the most boomer of all of them, but like it's great.
Did they apprehend him?
I don't know actually.
He looks pro gun rights group, dude. Yeah, they try to apprehend him. Watch her be like fucking wake up. Did they apprehend him?
I don't know. Actually. Oh god. Yeah, dude. I actually texted one of my volunteers that was down there. I was like, "Hey, you okay?" I haven't gotten a text back.
I'm hearing like an echo of the stream or something.
One of my volunteers that was.
Oh really?
I was like, "Hey, you okay?"
Yeah.
That's not coming from my end.
Oh god.
I'm hearing like an
Apex the frowny face. Okay, Sean Gay
Sam.
Metal for Life. I'm gonna ban you guys from the chat. Voice
What
of
do you do?
Apex
Oh, I
Death
know
from
Metal for Life.
Face. Yeah, we all know. We all know who she is. We know.
Gay Metal for Life.
They're gonna get banned. Banned forever.
Voice of
What do you
Banned to the
Oh,
no
I know
man's
Metal for
land
Life.
and no woman's land.
We all know who she is.
Voice of Reason says that the Barbarian's an actor. No, he's not an actor. He's legit. Like there's Elijah Schaefer's interviewed the dude. He's legit. I'm sorry I'm constantly fact checking you, but trying to keep us all on the same page. You see the other meme that was like Assassin's Creed Capital? That was a good one too. Show him climbing the walls. It's fucking Assassin's Creed. Oh god. It's like, do you remember when they had the riots at Penn State over the Eagles? Do you remember that, Alex?
I remember hearing about it.
Oh, I think Alex disappeared.
I need to get my food.
Thinking with
Dinner
your
time.
stomach again.
Oh, man, I gotta go to work in like an hour.
That's true. I said, did you see the Assassin's Creed Capital meme?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. That reminded me of at Penn State when they were during the riots, like when the Eagles won and like people were jumping off Old Main into the bushes. And you were like, this is Assassin's Creed.
Yes. Dude, I was playing that fucking Metro 2033, man. The last level, man, they had this fucking thing in there. It was so fucking shit because it was like Assassin's Creed, like climbing up a fucking tower, but they don't make it easy. You know, it's not like that game doesn't have the same engine as Assassin's Creed, like make climbing shit intuitive. Man, that was frustrating. That was like an hour of like jumping from pipe to pipe.
Hey, you want a hard game. There you go. Yeah, that is frustrating.
Between a hard game and a game that was like they implement something in a shit fashion.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Deus Ex kind of has that problem because it's so old. Like, you can tell the mechanics are just wonky compared to today's standards. Like, you'll do some stuff where like you'll hit a guard. Let's say like you make a noise and the guard hears you, and you'll just crouch down and he won't see you. But other times you will, let's say, make a noise, you'll hide behind something, you'll be crouching, the guard will find you and then start shooting you. It's like very inconsistent. But I can see why it's a good game though. I gotta play that shit tonight. Or maybe some Terraria. I know someone in the chat plays Terraria.
Oh no, I haven't played it. I mean, I've seen it played. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah. I feel you. I might play some Minecraft actually. It's a very relaxing
I
game.
fixed the echo, so the Gamma, there's no reason for you to frown anymore, buddy.
No more frowning gammas. Oh, see, apparently the Betsy DeVos is saying she resigned because of Trump's role in the chaos at the Capitol.
Dude, fuck you, DeVos. No one likes you.
Yeah. She did do good on the Title IX stuff, I will say. Uncucking that stuff mess.
Like I don't know, man. I think things would have been a lot easier if Trump like actually put his actual supporters, like diehard Trump supporters, into positions.
Yeah, that's one thing I kind of understand the hires he made, but kind of don't at the same time because, like, let's be real, there's a lot of people that wouldn't be qualified for these positions, but at the same time, I wish he would have hired more people that were diehard into it, but maybe they didn't want to be in it for all you know.
No, I don't believe that for a second. Like, how was
Well,
Betsy
Peter
even-
Thiel, like, he would have been a great one, and he didn't want anything apparently.
What did what was Betsy's qualifications? I thought she wasn't even a teacher.
No, she's not a teacher, but she's been involved with education, to my knowledge, in Detroit and Michigan. I don't know a lot about her, but I mean, I trust me, I didn't like her and Bolton. I didn't like it all.
Carson, like, what was his qualifications for HUD?
He grew up in Section 8.
Yeah, like I went to public school. Does that mean I'm qualified to be as education secretary?
Yeah, I know. I feel you, man. Yeah. I wish there were some better picks, but I bet in a second term, though, he would have had a much cleaner, more effective cabinet. But
Well,
I'll be interested in reading his book to see where he explains a lot of things, has a lot of juicy details and secrets that come out. Because then I think we'll be able to get a better sense of what really went on.
yeah, and I mean, like, I feel that once he got into office, like, because you remember he used to do like interviews and shit with Alex Jones. He didn't do a single one after that, but he interviewed at like
Yeah, he did one with Alex during the
after,
campaign.
yeah, but not after he got elected, but he did it with like other people.
Yeah, I wish he would have done that stuff too, honestly.
Like honestly, I think we could do a fucking video on like the ups and downs.
Yeah.
We'll do it like when Biden takes power. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish that would have been the case. There's definitely stuff I wish that would have happened like that. Oh my god, this is yo. Okay, well, fuck you, Miles Chong, for this tweet, but I do think this is a funny meme. I'll post this in the chat.
He's one you have to be careful about, Ian Miles Chong.
Yeah,
He was
I
one
mean,
of those people who's like originally against Gamergate, then jumped ship, and then he like fucked over, I think, some people before for I think it was like Andy Worski, like he like tried to lock him out of his account and stuff. That's funny.
yeah, he has some weird shit in his past, I know. But and again, he spread some fake news too that's just I really don't like, so there's that too. Oh, that's a well-crafted meme, whoever made that. Whoever the OG was on that one.
All right, guys. Well, we're up at like 2 hours, and can you guys think of anything else to cover?
No, we hit a lot of shit.
Yeah, we did. So,
Yeah,
all right.
everybody like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for tuning in to the Whitfield Report / Versa crossover, and we really appreciate you tuning in with us on Thursday. I may be doing a stream tomorrow with Jeff Hamill. I don't know
Ooh.
at what point, but I'll announce.
Let me know, because I did promise him that I would hop on the next one.
Yeah, I'll. He sent me a voice message. So I have to listen to that because he told me what his schedule was. So I'll ask him if you can join us, Sean. So,
And Phil, because I know he said that Phil could join too.
yeah, I'll ask. I know I have your contact info, but I don't have Phil's contact. But anyway, we can discuss that off stream. So
Yeah,
But,
Phil's number. I can always send it to you.
but anyway, yeah, folks. So keep an eye out for that, and then on Saturday I'll be back with Apex Gamma, hopefully, and yeah, we'll do the Saturday show, and who knows what will happen between now and Saturday? Hopefully, nothing.
I think you're gonna see some big purges, and you're gonna see some action at the White House. Not physical action, not violence, but you get my idea. Shit's gonna go down.
But in the meantime, folks, thank you for tuning in. God bless. God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy in that order. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Whitfield Report. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you very much. God bless.